Hey, happy Saturday afternoon. I hope everyone's doing well. Folks, we're going to get started today. There's a lot of fun stuff we're going to chat about today. Specifically, we're going to discuss how to make sure that you're being consistently successful in sales, right? Anyone can get lucky and get one or two deals, even big whopper deals, amazing deals where you're like, oh my God, you're a genius. You can hear that. But to consistently make deals and consistently win, where you can have a successful career and your team and your manager and your organization overall can depend on you to bring in a set amount of revenue every single quarter, year, so on. That's essential. And that's the one thing I would like everyone to aim toward as folks that are watching this and listening to this, is that being a superstar is fantastic, right? It's great. You get the accolades, you get lots of love and all that fun stuff. But what I think is underrated is being a consistently high performer, right? So often what you'll have is some of your star players or star sales rep will have a lot of feast and famine. They'll be extremely successful by grabbing a big account and bringing that in, and then they maybe drive for the next 6 months to a year, right, before they develop another one and do that. So again, those big whales, bring them in. That's really nice. But the problem you'll have is if you speak to CROs or if you speak to sales managers, they'll tell you they love the star players. They love those huge big wins. But what they need, what they require to make sure that they hit their targets and goals every single year is consistent performance, right? So we're going to focus on consistent performance here. So when you look at consistent performance, so what's required in that, right? It's first understanding what does that mean for your organization. Like if you have particular quotas or required budget that you need to hit, take that number and go backwards, right? Break that down. So let's say you have to do 10 deals a month, and that needs to equal to $1 million, right? So you need to bring in at least a 100K deal every single, 10 100K deals at least every single month, right? So $1 million your target, you break it down, you look at what your average deal cycle is, and again, you don't go with exceptional, you go with average deal size, let's say it's 100K, so you need to bring in 10 deals, right? And this is part of your planning. So number one is planning out your year and then breaking it down into quarters and then breaking it down into months, weeks, and then days. So once you break it down like that, it makes life really easy for you as a sales rep because now you're not looking at this big daunting number that you need to achieve for the end of the year. You're looking at I need to achieve, 10 100K deals in 1 month. Significantly easier. What does that mean? I need to bring in about 2.5 deals every single week. Okay? So if I need to bring in 2.5 deals every single week, let's go a bit, $250,000 every single week. Okay. What does that look like for my day-to-day? What do I need to do to make sure I hit that? Right? So break it down and be very specific about how you break it down, right? So, and that involves looking at your personal numbers, seeing how you're achieving. Look at what the company numbers are on average. If you can get the industry numbers, which should be available, figure out what the industry average is for per deal size, right? So get that idea, get that concept, understand the numbers first, break them down so it makes sense for you. And once you break it down, it's going to make it easy to achieve because then you can add activities that are required to get you to that level, right? One thing you'll hear all the time from sales managers and successful sales reps is that sales is a numbers game. And it is true. But it is understanding those numbers and breaking them down that makes it a numbers game, right? So you need to be able to understand what you need to achieve in what timeline and how much work you need to do to make that happen, right? So let's say, for example, your daily activity may be that I must do 10 reach outs to every single one of the opportunities I've already communicated with. And then I'm also going to do 5 cold outreaches, or do it the other way around. I'm going to do 10 cold outreaches every single day, and I'm going to do 5 repeat contacts with folks that I've already communicated with, that they've shown me interest. And then I may also do 1 to 2 existing customer calls, right? So I've broken that down because I realized that if I do 10 cold calls, out of that I may get 1 person who picks up the phone. I may get a chance, and out of that 1 person, over the course of a week, which is 5 people I've communicated with, 1 of them may give me a chance to have a conversation, right? So just let you know, like, you have to understand your numbers. You have to understand what works for you. What's the number game in your organization or industry? Understanding that piece, and that can be quite difficult. If you look at a big daunting task and try to go attack that, break it down. Right? My personal view is that I generally take my numbers, break it down from the year to quarters, from quarters to months, months to weeks, and depending on if I am actually at the front line selling, I may actually break it down into daily numbers, approximate daily numbers, and activities associated with it, which are backed by our customer relationship management tool, like a CRM tool, like Salesforce or Dynamics or something along that line. Because Salesforce and Dynamics, if you've done a good job of maintaining notes, please, I highly recommend it. Make sure you keep really strong notes in that. It's going to give you an idea of how many touch points do you need on average to close an opportunity with a customer or with the prospect. So if you do really good notes, CRMs are fantastic. They'll help you find out, like, how many touch points do you need. Hey, for you to be able to achieve a $1 million close rate for the month, you need a pipeline of, let's say you close at a 25% rate, which is pretty good. Because in SaaS, its average is about 20%, is the industry average. So let's say you're like, yeah, you know what? I can close at a 25% rate, and that's been my average. I go a little bit higher. Maybe you're phenomenal. You do a 30% close rate. So what you do is say, hey, look, I'm still going to go to the lower end. I'm still going to go to 25%, and then that's how I need to build my pipeline too. Right? So, like, it gives you a chance to figure out what your requirements and needs are for you to be successful. So this is going to be very important. So understand the numbers. That's tip number 1 for you to be successful. Understand the numbers, break them down, and be relevant to your daily activity. If they're not relevant to your daily activity, if the numbers are huge, daunting, and you're like, I'm never going to achieve this, and there's no daily activity I can do to achieve it, you will not succeed. Simple as that. You will not succeed. So that's first and foremost. Understand your numbers. Second piece that's really important is understand what you're selling. Yeah, that's really, I did say that. That sounds silly, doesn't it? Most people are like, yeah, well, I know what I'm selling. It's a software, it's a tool, it's whatever it may be. So I'll give you an example. If you're selling this is a pen, right? There are thousands, if not millions, of other companies selling a similar product. They're selling a pen, right? If you're just selling a pen, you're competing with all of them, and then the determinant may be pricing. And so you got to cut margin, you got to figure that out, right? So if all you're doing is selling a pen, good luck. You're going to have a very, very tough time succeeding in that, especially if you're new into the market and you don't have established customers, reference or else, right? Just a pen. Tough for you to be unique and to be successful in this, and to be able to have a decent margin on what you sell. But if you were selling a pen that's specifically designed for folks to write quick notes, or let's say specifically designed to be the smoothest writing experience for folks that are doing a lot of creative writing, right? Same thing, same pen, right? But what you have done now is that, hey, look, I've now added value to this, to a very specific clientele. So what I've done is I've started niching, right? Or niching, whatever people like to call it now. So what I've started to do is I've started to figure out, hey, look, this writes really well, and I think the clients, I think the folks that are in the creative sector that are writing a lot are going to be, this could be authors, this could be designers, whatever. In the creative industry, this pen is going to do really well. Because it's minimalist design, it's bare bones, it writes really smoothly, and it's people get satisfaction and happiness out of it. Now you've niched down, so rather than selling to millions of people, you've reduced it down to maybe a few thousand people, right? Higher chance of success because now you're focused on who you're targeting. So understanding your product, understanding your customer, right? So that's part of, that's tip number 2, right? So make sure that no matter what you do, you understand the product that you're selling. If you're selling something that everyone else is also selling, good luck. You're going to have a tough time. I can tell you, it's difficult for seasoned veterans to be able to sell that pitch. Generic is tough, because you have to then fight on pricing more than anything else, right? As long as you can prove to them that you're competent, you're good, you can do the job, you can do the work, or your product can do the task, then you're just kind of stuck in pricing because there's not much competitive advantage for you on that side. So niche. Find out what you're selling, break it down further, find out what your customers, who your customers are, and why they would buy your product. And again, try to niche down as much as possible. For enterprise customers, when you're looking at a particular solution or you're looking at a particular campaign, my view is if you can get 10 to 12 organizations into a particular niche that you can target, smaller is better. Weird as it sounds, smaller is better because it increases success rate, because you'll be able to make messaging that actually connects to them, resonates with them, because you understand the trials and tribulations they're going through. And that's the part, right? Your goal isn't, you don't get paid unless you are outbound rep or whatever else. You're not getting paid on making connects. You're not getting paid on prospecting. You're not getting paid to build up a pipeline. What you're actually getting paid on is to close deals and bring in wins, right? At least I hope you are. So that's the rule. That's the goal that you want to have, is you want to make sure that you're niching down, you're shrinking the amount of customers you target, shrinking the amount of customers you should be targeting, and who would benefit from your product. Break it down as much as you can. Because once you break it down to its core factor, like, hey, look, these are these 5 companies that I think will benefit from my product. So let's say it's an enterprise solution. Then what you do is you learn what those 5 companies do. You become an expert at those 5 companies. So when you have a conversation with that 5 companies or in that sector, people see you as a thought leader because you know how the organization works. You understand the trials and tribulations, the problems they deal with, and you can communicate on that. And you can share why your product solves that problem for you, solves that very specific problem for you. And it's very, and it's, again, it sounds counterintuitive to a lot of people because they're like, oh, I want to sell the whole world. I'm like, no, I don't care to sell the whole world. If you want consistent wins, be very, 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 very focused on who you target and what type of product you target, right? Your product could be used for, let's say, like as a pen, right? School children can use it, salespeople can use it, executives can use it, But I'm not focused on that. I'm only focused on creators that are specifically looking for a smooth pen because they do a lot of writing. That's my target. And I understand their trials and tribulations. I can figure out what they're looking for, and I can just focus in on that. And so when I have that communication with them, I can speak about their experiences and what they're going through, because I've done enough research, I've communicated with enough folks, and I know the industry or that specific market segment that well, that I can speak to their pains without them having to share. Or I can add to pains that they haven't thought about because they're so used to it. Because that's the one thing that'll happen, right? Is that your customers are used to a specific pain, so they don't ignore it. So they don't pay attention to the fact that things don't have to be this way. But the only way you can do it is by niching as much as possible. For myself, I'd say most of my success in sales in 20 odd years that I've been selling has been specifically around hyper niching. I really niche down into who my core customer is, who I should target, what messaging would work for them, and then I test it out. And that's the important piece, right? And that's the number 3 piece, is test, test, and test. So once you figure those 2 pieces out, you want to create a messaging, which you do initially, in the second piece where you create a messaging, your value prop, you figure out who your ideal client is, then you have your value prop, and then you actually go test it out. Have a conversation with them. Contact a few people. If you know people in the industry sector, speak to them. Say, hey, look, does this resonate? Does this make sense? Or when you go on a call, see what they think. But as long as you have done your research and you can talk shop with folks that you're targeting or working with, you will get a chance to have those conversations. You'll get a chance to test out those messages. Test it out, see if it works or doesn't work. Doesn't work? No problem. Do a debrief and find out what you can fix and what you can improve upon. If a client's not interested, don't just go, oh, okay, that's too bad. Well, you have my contact details. Like, okay, I understand you're not interested. I really appreciate you telling me why. What's going on? And is there something we could do better? Is something I could do better? Many times, if you build a good relationship, your prospect or client will tell you that, hey, you know what? I didn't like the fact that it doesn't come in really bright colors. Okay, no problem, right? Biggest issue is I like bright colors and your pen doesn't come with bright colors. Okay. Follow-up question? What other colors would you like to see? What would your preferred colors be? Right? So it may be beneficial for you to figure out if the target market, like as you test it out, you'll find out that, hey, did I pick the right market? Did I pick the right market segment? Is this going to be actually profitable for me? Would I be able to be successful in this? Right? So after you tweak your messaging, try again and see what happens. See if you're going to get traction. See if you're going to get people excited about what you're pitching or selling. If you don't, that's okay. It could be now you're trying to figure out which factor is not working. Is your ideal client profile, which you niche down to like 4 or 5 companies, were you incorrect about that? Could be you're wrong about that. Or is it the fact that your product messaging, like your number 2, like understand niching down, and the messaging is maybe not accurate. Maybe you need to figure that piece out, and figure that out. But only way you're going to know if something is successful is by testing. And the biggest tip on testing that I can give folks is that please make sure that when you're testing things out, don't go overboard. Which is why I like to recommend have a very small market segment that you're testing stuff out in, because it's inexpensive and it's pretty quick. And then what you can do is you can roll out these tests over and over again to figure out what's the ideal message, what's the ideal client profile. And if you do that, you will be able to really benefit from consistent growth, consistent success. But to do that, you need to lay these groundwork, this groundwork to be successful. So I'm going to explain that again. So folks that are just joining, or if they just want a refresher, what do you need to do? First and foremost, understand your product and understand your customer. All right? What problem you're solving, what your customer is looking to solve, and what does your product do? What value, actual value, is the customer being provided, right? Very important piece on that one, right? And number two is making sure that after you understand your product, understand that you're niching down into what you actually need to sell, right? So tip 1, 2, and third is testing out the message, right? Like, you've created the message, you understood it. For number 3, you want to actually make sure that you're testing it repeatedly to make sure you can find the right message and make sure that it's successful. And what will happen is, once you are successful in that area, in that sector, in that market segment, you can't stop testing out what works. Right? Once you create a repeatable sales plan for a particular niche market, or niche market, you want to repeat that again. Right? You want to do that again with maybe a different market segment, or specifically a different market segment, and you go through the same rigmarole again. And if you do this enough times, it becomes natural. You build a reputation in that particular market segment of being the go-to person for that particular problem. And that's when you're guaranteed consistent results, right? So what you want to do is niche down, come up with a market, come up with a plan to go to market kind of plan, or messaging that you want to share with prospects or customers, and just keep repeating that over and over again, right? And again, testing out various different things to make sure that your message is on point and it's successful, right? There's no magic bullet to sales. It's lots of hard work and consistency and testing out things and ideas, right? This YouTube one is a prime example, is that I'm testing out new ideas, new things that I want to do and I want to share with folks. And the right way, for me, what I felt like the right way was to get on video and share it. Because people are more likely to watch a video than read an article or read a book. So, excuse me. If I can break down, sales for folks over, if I can break down sales for folks by making sure that, by doing videos and, explaining what my thoughts are and being able to answer questions, I think that's the right way in the modern world that we're in right now. But again, it could be that it's not the right path because people aren't coming to YouTube to learn. They may be coming to YouTube to be entertained rather than educated. And that could be it, right? So what we would do at that point is, okay, maybe, I'll keep testing it out, and then I'm like, okay, you know what? I tried a couple of different formats, didn't work. Maybe I need to pivot to a different platform, or I need to improve, my video abilities, or my on-screen presence, maybe my camera, my audio. Like, figure out what the problem and issues are. But I can't do that until I test out this message and try out different messages to see what is successful, right? So that's the important piece of that. Test again and again and again, and truly believe in the Kaizen model. And if you don't know what Kaizen is, type it up in Google, you'll find out Kaizen model. And what it is, incremental improvements. And that's what you want your go-to-market, pipeline building, or even a sales pitch, and the pitch deck needs to be Kaizen model. You do a good job that you think will help you get to market, and then you keep repeating that over and over again. So folks, today is relatively a short one because, in all fairness, this one is, I could go into depth on each of them. They're, each piece where, each of the tips can take, an 8-hour seminar class or training class by themselves because they're so essential and important. And what I'll do is, for the next upcoming live streams, I'm going to break down these, each of these tips that I've recommended, and I'll show you how you can do it, how you can be successful by consistently following these kind of tips and how you can leverage them in your day-to-day life. Anyway, folks, thank you very much for your time. Have a fantastic Saturday, and we'll connect next week. Cheers.